Hello, managers, and welcome back to the BROhio Show, talking about week 2. So for this week of the BROhio Show, I went through all of the teams, and I want to highlight 3 players, good and bad, from each team. 3 highlighted players total that I want to highlight on each team. Starting off with the matchup of Zeke, and Deontay versus the Illyria Red Devils. Highlighting on my team, Ezekiel Elliott had a rough week this week. It's a tough matchup against that defense, but I am hopeful that he's going to do well. But sad to see that. Another sad highlight is Jimmy Graham putting up 2 zeros. For the second week in a row. We might need to make some changes, knocking on Tyler Eifert's door on my bench. And third highlighted player on the Deontay Dayhive team, we got Derrick Henry, who's about to become a running back 1 if DeMarco Murray keeps up his shenanigans. Across the aisle there to Illyria Red Devils, possibly the worst team of the season. Sorry, Luke. But we got Thomas Rawls sucking, Adrian Peterson, and Kirk Cousins. This team is bizarre. I don't know what's going on it, but it was a nice week for me to win without having being able to pull a win out of this week on my team was a success. So thank you, Luke. Moving on to DeLadies versus Dalvin and the Chipmunks. So DeLadies had some of their top picks that have been struggling this week. LaShawn McCoy and Amari Cooper, where Cooper's looking second string now to Crabtree. I don't know what's going on in Oakland. But Alshon Jeffrey was looking good, so that's my thumb up for the DeLadies team. Even though they couldn't get the win, Dalvin and the Chipmunks has some nice looking players, particularly tight ends. Travis Kelce and Jason Witten are 2 of my highlights. Kelce with a great play. I've always liked Kelce as a tight end. Witten on the bench with the second week in a row with a touchdown. And Randall Cobb, who's only going to get better with Jordy Nelson's injury. So Guacamole versus the Hormones. Guacamole, of course, has Kareem Hunt. However, that first-round pick, A.J. Green, not been doing so hot. 7 points last week, 6 points this week. Is that a bad pick? Well, I guess we'll see. And then the decision to bench Chris Hogan. Whoo, okay. There's the guac highlights. On to the Hormones. It's all applause for Justin this week, making the Trevor Siemian pickup, as well as his running backs who are facing each other, both ending up with touchdowns over 20 points. Montgomery and Freeman. Great job this week for the Hormones. Hopefully they keep rolling, except for when I face them. Carge the Howardly Dogs. Howard is not looking hot. Okay, so starting with Jordan Howard, that's a little sad for the namesake of the team. And Devontae Adams, this is going along with Randall Cobb, going to start getting more targets with Jordy down. And but going back to that Chris Hogan decision on the guac, what about this C.J. Anderson decision on the Carriage, the Howardly Dogs team? So that was maybe Austin was too much of a Howard to play Anderson. But it's good news for Nathan because he was able to win stun. We've been making that pun all season long. But Nathan is pretty happy to win with Marshawn Lynch showing up. And J.J. Nelson, we were texting about how much money he spent on him, and pretty nice, showing that money was well spent. And the third player I want to highlight on Nathan's team is actually Doug Martin. Even though he's not playing, I thought that this week was important to highlight that even though David Johnson is on the IR, Nathan being able to squeeze out this win of Austin because of that C.J. Anderson, crazy thing. But Doug Martin's going to be coming back, and that's going to help Nathan out a lot going through the rest of this season. So being able to squeeze this win out this week, good thing for Nathan. BROhio like a hurricane. They did great this week against the big hitters with Gurley looking good. I already talked about Jordy Nelson a little bit, but that's going to be sad for Russell. However, the other player I wanted to highlight is Jeremy Maclin, who has got a touchdown each week so far. So we'll see if Russell trusts Flacco enough next week to make that move. But otherwise, good week for Russell. Bad week for Tim, though. Drew Brees was probably the only happy spotlight on this team. But I wanted to highlight McCaffrey, who was drafted in the 3rd round, the 28th pick overall, who has only put up 5 points and 4 points the first 2 weeks. So McCaffrey not living up to the hype that Tim had on this team. He's not a big hitter. And the big hitter from last week, Austin Hooper, I guess he forgot he was on the big hitters because he sucked this week with a big 0. Final matchup of the week was Tyler versus Zach for Netflix and chill. You got to keep it up for the namesake. Fournette is kicking butt. He is taking names, and he's getting all the ladies to chill with him. But Tyler wasn't able to win this week. But look at the Rams D. That's a big change from week 1 to week 2 for Tyler. 29 points week 1, 1 point week 2. So I don't know if the Rams are going to be like that all season, really unpredictable, or if it's just an anomaly. And then Le'Veon Bell, 2nd pick overall, only putting up 4 points last week, 8 points this week. That's on the McCaffrey level of players that are just not living up to what was expected of them. Zach with one of the highest scoring teams this week with Tom Brady. And Michael Crabtree, or should we call him Michael Crab, 3 TDs. Look at that. That is insane. So that's what you call a butt bonanza. But sorry for the final one, which is DeMarco Murray. Coming back to my team, shout out to Derrick Henry. Hopefully looking to take over a lot of his runs. So thank you, Zach, for not picking up Henry. Overall, this week's looking good. Excited to see what everyone does tonight on the waiver wire, see how much money gets spent on some of these new players and people that are coming up in the ranks. Applause for Justin and Andrew, who are our 2 undefeated teams, Dalvin and the Chipmunks and Mr. Freeman's Hormones. And a wah-wah for the Illyria Red Devils and the DeLadies, both with 0-2 records. Everyone else, even Steven with 1-1, but we'll see what next week has in store. Good to see you guys today. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget, still looking for $30 from almost everyone. So, all right, take care. See you next week. Or I'll see you on the gridiron. Guacamole.